As I said earlier, this is the main race of the day, the Manikato Stakes. What a great sprinter he was. He'd give this lot a bit of swish. 40 to 1. Primacy from David Hayes is, I reckon that might shorten to more or less. Never undercharge, the hot pot. Bart Cummings has said he's aiming him at the Cox Plate, and he's the hot pot, even money and favourite. 16.
Over on the inside, Bouverie Mist, and they're followed by Green Sweep of Saracen just behind them. They're followed by the heavyweight further back, then Primacy. Pulled out wide Prince Acumen, followed by Black Rouge. Never undercharge back second to last now. In front of it, Silver Neon. And last of all is Rain and Thunder, 550 out. Solutional length in front of the heavyweight second. They're followed by Prince Acumen third. Further back in the race then came Silver Neon. Primacy being ridden along and Never Undercharge taking off around the outside, 5 lengths off them. Then further back Saracen as they come to the turn. Primacy going backwards. It's Illusion in front, turning for home from Prince Acumen, and here's the charge. Never Undercharge on the outside, makes a line of 4, grabs them out wide now. With him is Silver Neon. Never Undercharge has swept to the front at the 150 metre mark. Full of running now, drawing a length to Silver Neon and Prince Acumen, and Never Undercharge is back bigger and better than ever. Never Undercharge
coming off
first.
And it was Never Undercharge, $2 even and $1.30.
Opinions. This is the aptly named Up and Coming Stakes. Watch Mahogany win this with authority.
600 out as they near the turn. Stormy Regent held together by a Nectar Jet Ball. Courts adjourned on the fence on the inside of Botvinnik and Moss Rocket 3 deep as they corner, followed by Mahogany Sportsworks, Dancing Dynamite and Fraternity last. But on the bend, 400 out as they come over the rise. Stormy Regent joined by Jet Ball. Courts adjourned on the inside. Moss Rocket now popped the question. He's a length or so behind the leaders. And Mahogany wider out, starting to wind up now. He's the danger. Mahogany, Stormy Regent, Jet Ball. Mahogany joins them on the outside, and he's going to beat them for fun, Mahogany. Mahogany racing away in the last bit. The riders barely moved on him. He just cantered in, Mahogany, over Stormy Regent, who kicked again. Now popped the question. He's a length or so behind the leaders. And Mahogany wider out, starting to wind up now. He's the danger. Mahogany, Stormy Regent, Jet Ball. Mahogany joins them on the outside, and he's going to beat them for fun, Mahogany. Mahogany racing away in the last bit. The riders barely moved on him. He just cantered in, Mahogany, over Stormy Regent, who kicked again with Jet Ball weakening for...
Never Undercharged in a race like the Cox Plate. Mahogany's figures yesterday were outstanding, certainly superior. On those comparisons, I think Mahogany at this stage would beat Never Undercharge in the Cox Plate.
Do you? No, your opinion is a biased one, Max, but Cox Plate, that's a big ask for Mahogany.
No. Mahogany's a big horse, big in ability. The point of, I think you're going to see a lot more of Mahogany, but alas, I don't think you're going to see much more of the 6 to 1 they were offering yesterday.
Naturalism and $1.70 Never Undercharge. Time for us to go to Caulfield for the...
We'll complete the line. We welcome viewers to Channel 9. By Silver Neon, a bit further back then. Second last is Naturalism, and Black Stunner last of all as they race up in the direction of the home turner. 500 metres left to go. Black Rouge a half length to Palace Rainer. Over on the outside for Peter, Never Undercharge, looking for the run at them. He's over on the inside, 3 deep to Silver Neon, followed by Citizen Naturalism back behind them. And Black Stunner last of all as they straighten up. Black Rouge will lead them into the straight, tackle by Palace Rainer. Never Undercharge, looking for the Waders. Balk for the moment. For Peter down the outside, Naturalism running on. Never Undercharge can't get a run. Palace Rain takes the lead with 100 metres left to go. Naturalism, Never Undercharge, driving through along the inside. He's finishing very fast. Never Undercharge, Palace Rain, Never Undercharge. They hit it. Oh, very, very close to a dead heat. Never Undercharge and Palace Rain. A tremendous finish. Third home. With Naturalism running on. Never Undercharge can't get a run. Palace Rain takes the lead with 100 metres left to go. Naturalism, Never Undercharge, driving through along the inside. He's finishing very fast. Never Undercharge, Palace Rain, Never Undercharge. They hit it. Oh, very, very close to a dead heat. Never Undercharge and Palace Rain. A tremendous finish. Third home would be Black Rouge ahead of Naturalism, followed by Trapita.
The winners, Lady Jakio and Never... And the winners, Lady Jakio and Never Undercharge. Never Undercharge, 2 schools of thought after the Memsie Stakes. Perhaps he should have won. His nose was in front just before the line. It was in front just after the line. He would have won had Caulfield had a cutaway rail. But I'm pleased that we don't have it, because there is...
The unfashionable distance of 2,300 metres has launched many fashionable spring campaigns, going back to the 1940s to Flemington Glory right here. Hay finished runner-up at Newcastle before winning the 1983 Caulfield Cup. Today, it was Azam, the grey, trained by David Hayes, ridden by Mick Dittman, already a Sydney Cup winner and destined for even greater success. Watch his efforts over the final stages, the way Dittman has to hook him out out, stop riding, regain balance and charge for the line.
Dittman badly bought for a run on Azam. He's come to the outside. Glen Post in front. Paris Fire grabbing it. Moods coming through the middle. Moods more money. Here's Azam. Azam's flying and he'll win it. Azam's got up to win on the outside by a half length.
Azam start destined for even greater success. Watch his efforts over the final stages, the way Dittman has to hook him out, stop riding, regain balance and charge for the line.
Dittman badly bought for a run on Azam. He's come to the outside. Glen Post in front. Paris Fire grabbing it. Moods coming through the middle. Moods more money. Here's Azam. Azam's flying and he'll win it. Azam's got up to win on the outside by a half length.
Azam started a 7-2 favourite.
Well, I don't care if it was a cow in the paddock that Azam beat. This was an unbelievable run. What weight did this bloke have? We're talking about the grey horse, second from the right, Max.
57.5, under extreme pressure now, on the out.
The day, the Epsom handicap over a mile here at Randwick. Now, if you've backed a horse drawn wide, don't worry. Statistics show that horses drawn wide nearly always win these races. That's because horses near the fence always seem to get checked or hustled and bustled. That's why I like a horse in the race called Golden Sword. He's drawn out wide, he's going to get back and he'll storm. Another chance in the race is a horse I'm on called Telesto. He's going to get a long way back and he needs luck in running, but I'm sure...
Wide, in between them, Take the Road, followed by Kingston Bay, Go Story, Golden Sword, can't get on the track. On the Story, Golden Sword, can't get on the track. On the fence, Idea, and then Kenny's Best Pal flitters a long way back with Corndale, Deposition, Double Malt, Osmart and Telesto last of all. 700 out as they come to the turn. Prince of Praise, the leader from Quadado. Bella Snappers, 3 deep on the corner, followed by Mighty Tango, W-Bet, then Cohort, Take the Road, My Diamond Ruse, the Perfume Garden, further back Corndale, Idea on the fence, followed by Kenny's Best Pal and Go Story from Golden Sword, and taken to the extreme outside is Deposition as they come over the rise. It's Prince of Praise headed by Mighty Tango. Mighty Tango went to the lead. Quadado and Bella Snapper still there with Cohort coming right down the outside. Mighty Tango's in front from Quadado, Cohort, and look at Golden Sword. Telesto is bursting through near the fence, but Golden Sword does a mighty job to win the Epsom. Golden Sword beat the fast finishing Telesto, who came from last. Third, Quadado, Just Story from Golden Sword, and taken to the extreme outside is Deposition as they come over the rise. It's Prince of Praise headed by Mighty Tango. Mighty Tango went to the lead. Quadado and Bella Snapper still there with Cohort coming right down the outside. Mighty Tango's in front from Quadado, Cohort, and look at Golden Sword. Telesto is bursting through near the fence, but Golden Sword does a mighty job to win the Epsom. Golden Sword beat the fast finishing Telesto, who came from last. Third, Quadado just in front of Mighty Tango, Cohort over the rise.
Lucky Larry Cassidy aboard Golden Sword, picking up a late ride again and scoring next Saturday for a crack at the Toorak handicap.
Now here you come, Shane, near the inside in the bright pink colours on Telesto.
Yeah, I just had to check here. I switched to the inside and I think I had a clear run there. I think he had enough momentum up to win the race. But what can you say about Golden Sword? An outstanding horse, John. Like he sat five wide the whole race and still kicked on like that, and he's an outstanding prospect for the future.
There's no doubt the
entitled to be those odds yesterday, really. For this great race, the Turnbull Stakes. I'll quickly run through the betting with you. Naturalism 4-1, Innocent King 5s, Palastrain Saracen, the Phantom Chance 8-1, Kiwi Golfer, that's the one the money's come from, it's 8s into 5s, 8-1 Tennessee 100, and Great Vintage it's steady on 3-1.
100-metre mark, Kiwi Golfer leading a half length, the Naturalism. In third place, Sarah Sun, the Phantom Chance just behind them, followed by Redinger. And over on the inside to Shendir, followed by Innocent King, who's making up ground. Great Vintage to the outside, is still a fair way back in the field. So is Tennessee Jack as they straighten up with 500 to go. Kiwi Golfer is the leader, Redding coming down the outside. Naturalism is there in the centre. Deeper on the track, finishing on Innocent King, and back behind them, Great Vintage from a long way back, and Tennessee Jack. Kiwi Golfer about to be tackled by Naturalism, and over on the outside, Redding and the Phantom Chances putting in a run. Innocent King behind them, followed by Great Vintage. Naturalism on the outside has taken the lead. Here comes the Phantom Chance after Naturalism, but Naturalism's in front with 100 metres to go. The Phantom Chance is flowing. Naturalism on the inside. The Phantom Chance they hit it. And I think maybe the Phantom Chance from Naturalism and Kiwi Golfer in a three-way photo. They're followed by Great Vintage. Further back then is Sarah Sun, followed next home by Shen.
Straight now, Kiwi Golfer went for home at the 500. A length and a half, Naturalism under the whip. Wider out.
about Reading, Saracen, the Rail and the Phantom Chance trying to go for a run, and then Innocent King and Great Vintage is next under the whip. It's Naturalism racing up now to take the lead at the 200 from Kiwi Golfer, fighting back, and the Phantom Chance is on with a good run, but Naturalism's in front of Kiwi Golfer. The Phantom Chance the outside, Naturalism, the Phantom Chance is coming at him, the Phantom and Naturalism, oh, very close. I think the Phantom Chance knows Naturalism. Kiwi Golfer close up third.
Phantom Chance getting it by a head, but
the Phantom Chance and the Phantom Chance, Naturalism and Viander Cross all clash in next week's Caulfield Stakes.
Right. Also returning to Melbourne was the Epsom Handicap winner Golden Sword. With stable jockey Stephen King back in the saddle, the 4-year-old contested the Toorak Handicap.
Back behind them, Golden Sword on the outside, following Never Under Charge up at the 800. Then Spring Hill Lad, followed by Major Decision, Italian Saint. One further back is My Sparkling Star in company with Antwerp, and Ancient Ritual is last of all. At the 600 peg, Black Rouge just the leader. Half a length in front now from Heroicity and Never Under Charge right there to challenge. 1-0 tucked in on the rail, and Golden Sword coming round the outside, still running on well. Followed by Station Hand, Major Decision, Italian Saint and Spring Hill Lad. Around the turn they come, and Never Under Charge strode to the lead from Black Rouge, Heroicity. Golden Sword right behind Never Under Charge, and then Station Hand. Never Under Charge at the 200, just the leader. Golden Sword coming after him on the outside. Then Black Rouge fighting back. It's Never Under Charge. Golden Sword coming at him strongly, and a zero the fence. But Golden Sword goes home well on the outside. Shades of Gun Send. Golden Sword wins it by a length. Never Under Charge, I think, second a photo with a zero. Close up Spring Hill Lads.
Golden Sword was the favourite at 5-2. Second, Never Under Charge at 11-4.
Chasing the big
class racehorse. This is an outstanding racehorse. The Cox Plate boasts of having the best field at the time, and to leave Golden Sword out, well, that would be a travesty, because he is one of the best horses in Australia.
Caulfield Stakes brought together one of the best fields of the season, including the favourite Viander Cross, Palace Rain, the Phantom Chance and Naturalism. With Damien Oliver back in the saddle.
And racing. And it was a great start too, with the exception of Palace Rain, who missed a couple of lengths and dropped back to the rear. The Phantom Chance is Rainer's last of all, over the hill onto the railway side, 1,100 metres left. There's Pell, followed by Air Seattle, Castletown. Viander Cross is still a long way back, giving the leaders about 12 lengths to that point. And Palace Rainer's last of all at the 700-metre mark. Teoka Nick is being tackled for the lead very quickly here by Slight Chance. In behind them, the Phantom Chance is putting in a run. And also there over on the outside, making up ground quickly, there is the Phantom, followed by Out Tristolite and Naturalism as they come up to the home turn. Reading a bit further back, being followed by Mannerism. And Viander Cross a long way back, but starting to gain ground as they make the home turn. The Phantom in the centre takes the lead, tackled by the Phantom Chance on the outside as they head for home. Slight Chance behind them, Reading, Naturalism under the web. Viander Cross not in the hunt at the moment. The Phantom on the inside, and the Phantom Chance are locked together there, wide apart. The Phantom racing a bit greenly to the inside. The Phantom Chance takes the lead. Naturalism flying home. Naturalism in the centre, coming at this lead is Naturalism. Naturalism's won the Caulfield Stakes, close for second and third. The Phantom or the Phantom Chance. Behind them, fourth there was our Pompeii.
The brothers turn in front of Slight Chance, Reading and Naturalism under the whip. Still well back is Viander Cross at the 200, and the Phantom in front of the Phantom Chance. Naturalism trying for a run between them. The Phantom Chance on the outside, and the Phantom. Naturalism diving in the centre. Here he comes, Naturalism. A great victory. Naturalism over the Phantom and the Phantom Chance. In behind them, our Pompeii, another nice run.
With a barnstorming win.
150 to go. Naturalism starting to knuckle down to it back in the centre. He's about to get squeezed up. The Phantom Chance. Naturalism driving home. He's going to get up the trap. Yes. Naturalism on the post. Mighty performance.
A terrific win to Lee Friedman and Premier jockey Damien Oliver. Naturalism will be extremely tough to beat in a fortnight.
One of the worst days of my life, the day I lost the Derby on that horse, and to get the sack off it at the same time was a real kick in the arse, but to win today was a really sweet victory.
Second, the Phantom at 40s, and third...
It was billed as one of the great races, a world-class field, and what a contest up the straight. You know, two brothers, who I don't think we've ever seen before at a Group 1 level, and this brave Naturalism who had to go through and accelerate through a gap, and that's a sign of a horse that's really trying, and he went through with Oliver.
Wanted to get there. That was the old Naturalism. Yeah. That was the courage. That was the fight, the will to win, which has been lacking of late. Lee Friedman, master trainer that he is, he's found the key. He's got Naturalism back.
Max, I've not heard Caulfield echo to sounds with the roar that went up when Naturalism won, and Damien Oliver flaring that reaction too. Great.
Yeah, it was a
Viander Cross with the classy 5-year-old suffering back and leg injuries in yesterday's Caulfield Stakes. He won't gallop this week.
Cummings trained Tristalove was favoured to give the master trainer his third 1,000 guineas winner in 5 years, but her bad metre mark and Eastern All the leader to Brompton Cross, Bella Serrata. Capchat travelling beautifully fourth, followed by Trivial Ass. Tristalove next over on the outside as they came down the side of the course here. They were followed further back in the field. Miss Minden trapped out wide at the 600. 2 lengths to Miss Bridie, Arborea, and then Rock Review. Well back Motown Blue and Burette Hardwritten going forward, and then Futile Springtane. Merrow's second last and Rose Reward last of all. On the turn inside the 400, Eastern All will straighten up just in front here from Brompton Cross out the challenge and Capchat. Tristalove a little wider out and Bella Serrata on the fence clear of Trivial Ass and Miss Bridia at the 200 metre mark now, and it's Capchat racing up to Brompton Cross. Bella Serrata the fence and Tristalove the outside. Capchat's in front down in the last 100 metres. Tristalove, and here's Arborea along the inside. Arborea's flashed home along the fence and Arborea won it from Capchat. Photo third, perhaps Rose in front here from Brompton Cross out the challenge and Capchat. Tristalove a little wider out and Bella Serrata on the fence clear of Trivial Ass and Miss Bridia at the 200 metre mark now, and it's Capchat racing up to Brompton Cross. Bella Serrata the fence and Tristalove the outside. Capchat's in front down in the last 100 metres. Tristalove, and here's Arborea along the inside. Arborea's flashed home along the fence and Arborea won it from Capchat. Photo third, perhaps Rose Reward.
Played is the race that racing purists hold in the highest regard. In the lead up to the Weight for Age Championship, the clash between arch rivals Naturalism and Viander Cross attracted plenty of attention. But on racing,
and away they go. Viander Cross not brilliant away, and first out Phantom Chance near the inside. Away fast Kiwi Golfer. Solvit going up on the inside of him, and the 2 New Zealanders in front at the early point of the race. 1,000 out at the halfway mark in the Cox Plate, and the Kiwi Galloper in front. Solvit striding out by 4 lengths. Second is Kiwi Golfer, 3 to Palace Rain. A length further back, Slight Chance. A half on the outside of him is the Phantom Chance. 2 lengths to Naturalism, 8 off the lead. 2 lengths behind Naturalism, Golden Sword. Inside him now is Viander Cross, and they're followed by Never Under Charge. 650 out, Kiwi Golfer, the first one to go out after Solvit. He's 3/4 behind, 2 further back then in the race, the Phantom Chance. Palace Rain, hard ridden. Naturalism in a pocket, Golden Sword's gone around him. Viander Cross can't get out, but Solvit the leader now at the 400 metre mark. The Phantom Chance with a run out wide coming into it. So's Golden Sword, followed by Kiwi Golfer, a gap to Naturalism, hard ridden. And Viander Cross is last, but the Phantom Chance out wide. Races to Solvit on the turn on the Cox Plate. 2 to Golden Sword, followed by Kiwi Golfer. Naturalism, I don't think can get up from there, but out wide the Phantom Chances hit the front of the Cox Plate. A half in front of Solvit, then Golden Sword. The Kiwi takes the plate. It's the Phantom Chance. The Phantom Chance, a length and a half Solvit. Golden Sword, I think, has just got third in front of Naturalism. Then Viander Cross.
Then Slight Chance. Viander Cross's last as Never Under Charge went round him. Up to the turn now, Solvit in front, the Phantom Chances coming after him. The Kiwis turn in front with Golden Sword, a challenger. Then Kiwi Golfer, the Phantom Chance dash to the lead in the straight. From Solvit, Kiwi Golfer, Golden Sword, and then Naturalism. The Phantom Chance is clear though. Solvit's battling strongly, but the Phantom Chance and Bobby Lance. The Phantom Chance wins it from Solvit. Third, either Golden Sword or Naturalism. An easy win in the end for the Phantom Chance. The Kiwi Quinetta Solvit holding on to second.
The front started at 4s, second Solvit at 10 to 1, and third the John Marr train Golden Sword at 6.
And Max, is it fair to say that for the first time in 18 months that neither Naturalism or Viander Cross is the most important horse in Australian racing at this very moment? I'm not knocking them, but I feel like there is a changing of the guard.
Yes, I'd love the Cox Plate to be run again tomorrow, Bruce, and be able to take 6 to 4 about the Phantom Chance, because he is #1 at this point.
About Calm House
at Moonee Valley, Mahogany started a warm favourite in the Victoria Derby. Those doubts were when Mahogany produced a brilliant burst of acceleration to win the Classic by the biggest winning margin since Tulloch in 1957.
Shelved, and then Paxmat will over on the outside from Star of Somerset. Cloudy Star is second last or third last, followed by Waikikamu Cow and Ice Doctor last of all. Into the straight, 500 metres to go now. They straighten up in the Derby. Pride of Rancho grabbed by Carla Max and Mahogany. Mahogany's eased out for a crack at the leaders and went to the lead at the top of the straight now. Mahogany dashed away at the 400. Hall kicked him out by 2 or 3 lengths now from Carla Max McGuan. Kendall Star is on the outside. No run. Zaremba. Regal Archery trying for a run, but Mahogany. Hall went for the whip at the 200. 5 in front. It's all over. Regal Archery and Shelved are running on with Waikikamu Cow, but Mahogany blitzes them in the Derby. Magnificent win, Mahogany by 7 lengths on the post. Shelves second. Jackson Mahogany. Mahogany's eased out for a crack at the leaders and went to the lead at the top of the straight now. Mahogany dashed away at the 400. Hall kicked him out by 2 or 3 lengths now from Carla Max McGuan. Kendall Star is on the outside. No run, Zaremba. Regal Artery trying for a run, but Mahogany. Hall went for the whip at the 200. 5 in front. It's all over. Regal Artery and Shelved are running on with Waikika Cow, but Mahogany blitzes them in the Derby. Magnificent win, Mahogany by 7 lengths on the post. Shelved second. Waikika Cow got up for third from Regal Artery. In the Derby, this his first win, and what a wrap.
It's been great to win it at last, and I think he's a lot better horse than the other horse I started, even though, you know, one of them was Naturalism. I think this horse is a better 3-year-old than Naturalism.
He made it look hopeless, so it really looks like he can stay. But
Fastest Derby since metrics were introduced, and the best Derby win since Red Anchor in 84. Mahogany back from 4s to 5 to 2 at one stage, started at 7 to 2.
There's waiting to get into Mahogany, Max, haven't you?
Oh, have I ever? I've even got a message from Greg Hall for Max this morning. It's Max. Don't get off a moving tram. You've gone from Mahogany Max to Mad Max with one classic race result.
Yeah. We better fill everyone in. Max's favourite horse is Mahogany. He's been tipping it in everything that's running, and you hopped off yesterday, Maxie, and picked him third.
Yes, well, Bruce, the first time that Mahogany raced at Randwick this campaign, I did liken certain aspects of his character to Kingston Town. I'd just like to say there's one aspect he doesn't compare, and that's consistency.
Didn't he give some class? Didn't he give some class to a race that needed it yesterday, though? I mean, he won like a top weight for age horse. I know he had everything going for him, but it reminded me of Red Anchor, his acceleration away from them, and that's a pretty big compliment. I'm glad he didn't run in the Gadsden, as you were suggesting last week, Max, that they should try him as a sprinter.
Would have bolted him. Now, I bet
that the Derby has won.
Coming off her win in the 1,000 guineas, Arborea produced another winning performance in the Wakeful Stakes.
Arborea was last coming around the turn. She produced an absolutely outstanding finish.
Alcove at the 400 sprinted away, 2 in front of Eastern All second, Barbadian third, then Swift Falcon. Now Rose Reward running into the race towards the inside, and right around on the track was 7, and then came Fine Recipe. 250 to go, and it's Alcove, 2 in front of Eastern All. On the outside, Swift Falcon running on Fine Recipe and Rose Reward, and here comes Arborea. She is absolutely flying. Alcove in front, Arborea gobbling her up. They hit it, and Arborea's got up. She's got up on the outside and beaten Alcove. 100 sprinted away, 2 in front of Eastern All second, Barbadian third, then Swift Falcon. Now Rose Reward running into the race towards the inside, and right around on the track was 7, and then came Fine Recipe. 250 to go, and it's Alcove, 2 in front of Eastern All. On the outside, Swift Falcon running on Fine Recipe and Rose Reward, and here comes Arborea. She is absolutely flying. Alcove in front, Arborea gobbling her up. They hit it, and Arborea's got up. She's got up on the outside and beaten Alcove.
Trainer Clary Connors said even he had almost given up hope on the home turn.
Yes, just after we straightened over, but she can't win from there with 57. She couldn't do it.
Isn't it incredible how Shane Dye has got to be so spectacular? This was just an incredible win. I wonder whether Arborea had to be so far back.
Hinnon Stakes attracted a class field, several of which were having their final lead-up to the Melbourne Cup. The runners included the Cox Plate winner, the Phantom Chance, and his older brother, the Phantom, who had run a great third in the Caulfield Cup. With Jim Cassidy in the saddle.
Down the side, about 8.50 to go. Solvit led the Phantom by about 1.5 lengths. Slight Chances third. A length away, Landowner, followed by Farr and the Phantom Chance out 3 wide. 1 further back is Naturalism, Cavalieri out, Tristalite, and then Viander Cross, better than midfield to the turn. Followed by our Pompeii and Deuce. Great Vintage Azam, well back in the field here as they sweep into the straight. Over on the outside, Star of the Realm and Castletown. Into the straight, less than 500 to go. Solvit 1.5 lengths in front of the Phantom, and Landowner over on the rail, followed by Slight Chance. Farrar's running on, and then came the Phantom Chance, and here comes Naturalism now. He's coming with a run, and well back still is Viander Cross. The Phantom hit the front at the 200 from Solvit. Naturalism is battling along strongly, although hanging in on Farrar, but the Phantom is well clear. The Phantom's race 4 in front of Farrar and Naturalism, and the Phantom, a magnificent winner. The Phantom has won it by 3 lengths to Farrar. A half head to Naturalism third.
As a result of
the fair.
Naturalism runs on. The Phantom Chance can't win. Farrar into the clear, but the Phantom went for home. The Phantom and Jim Cassidy's bolted away. They're going to bolt the McKinnon in. Farrar fights off Naturalism for second, but the Phantom by 4 lengths.
a place getter in the Melbourne Cup of 1990. Now maybe the Phantom can go better on Tuesday.
It's hard, but he's proved he can run the distance, and 55 is not badly in now.
At 9-1 has already run a 4th and 2nd in the Melbourne Cup. Fra at 20's Naturalism at 9-2. Day. And 8-year-old The Phantom is the new Melbourne Cup favourite. The Phantom, the favourite, at 9-2 over Our Pompeii and Great Vintage. Glastonbury and Star of the...
Hoarded horses that Lindsay Park has. Drum Taps Vintage Crop coming here, having their first run in the Melbourne Cup. Can they win?
I think they can. I just know...
horses, Drum Taps and Vintage Crop. And who knows, this Melbourne Cup eventually could become the staying championship of the world. Let's have a look at the Phantom, are equal favourites at the moment at 5-1. Their barrier alongside of them, both drawn...
I don't know whether they'll be able to do it.
But they'll be over their odds, that's the main thing.
They will
be,
that's
like Vintage
right.
Crop will be well over his odds, and he's a horse that's probably, in my opinion, the horse to beat. Yeah. One of the horses to beat, because...
Poetic King is the favourite with Damien Oliver aboard. Now, away they go. Four Chase seemed to jump away pretty well. Tribute got out fairly well. Going away pretty fastly was Elegance. Janeiro was last. Azawir in front now from Elegancy Tribute. Then Four Chase wide out. He's very green. Over on the inside was a Raider in the Dark. Blessed Ascent. Tribute's running into the race. At the 300-metre point, Azawir in front from Elegancy Tribute joining in. Raider in the Dark storming home from behind them, and then Blessed Ascent and Poetic King getting a move on. At the 200, it's the filly Azawir in front. Poetic King is absolutely storming home. It's eating up the ground. Flying up on the inside, Poetic King. I want to finish this. Poetic King's won in a canter at the finish from Azawir and Crystal Sword. Then Elegancy Tribute in the Dark, Blessed Ascent. Tribute's running into the race. At the 300-metre point, Azawir in front from Elegancy Tribute joining in. Raider in the Dark storming home from behind them, and then Blessed Ascent and Poetic King getting a move on. At the 200, it's the filly Azawir in front. Poetic King is absolutely storming home. It's eating up the ground. Flying up on the inside, Poetic King. I want to finish this. Poetic King's won in a canter at the finish from Azawir and Crystal Sword. Then Elegancy Tribute, Raider in the Dark.
Look at the time, 57.6. That's nearly 2 seconds faster than the two-year-olds have ran. But what a great finish.
Oh, that's an ass, Gary. Unbelievable run by Poetic King. Oh, could be a superstar in the making.
Well, it definitely looks that way.
370 and 140. But a magnificent run. He's unbeaten from 4 starts, and you can see why after that performance.
Well, that's right. I haven't seen a horse...
Well, Pete, I've been to over 20 Melbourne Cups, and I've never seen a plunge like this. Number 1, Drum Taps, has been back for an absolute fortune. It has now joined Our Pompeii as equal favourite in the race. The Phantom is still...
Start was in the Iris St Leger. That was back on the 18th of September. Another question mark over him, but he's a...
$9 for number 8, the Phantom. The favourite for the Cup is number 9, Our Pompeii, at $6.90. 11 Air Seattle at $11.80, at $33, and $24.80 for Great Vintage. Diamond Base is down. Vintage Crop behind them, and they were followed down on the inside by Silk Ali. Outrest Delight was deep. Tennessee Jack sneaking up on the inside as they approach the bend. Young Pirate wide, followed by Sub-Zero, went off the rail. Dancing Lord the inside. Field Officer was deep, and then Great Vintage. Ultimate A, Mercator, well back in the field, Cavalieri. Then came Azam. Further back as they come to the turn here, Seattle hard-ridden third last. Castletown second last, and Diamond Base is last. Up to the turn, Tiaco Nick and Frontier Boy together. 3 in front of the Phantom running on. Then Drum Taps over on the inside. Marrakesh and Far both making up good ground. In the straight, it's Tiaco Nick by a length. Frontier Boy second, Marrakesh to third, 3 lengths away Fra. Then the Phantom Vintage Crop is running on, and then Drum Taps. Down to the 300, Tiaco Nick a length in front of Frontier Boy. 3 away, Vintage Crop starting to storm home from Tennessee Jack. Tiaco Nick in front. Vintage Crop is storming home on the outside. Vintage Crop on the outside grabs Tiaco Nick, then Mercator, and the Cup is going back to England. And Vintage Crop has won the Melbourne Cup by 3 lengths to Tiaco Nick and Mercator. Then Great Vintage rushing home.
Nick on the home turn. They're running for home in the Melbourne Cup, and Tiaco Nick near the inside, a length in front of Frontier Boy. 2 to Marrakesh, 2 lengths further back Fra. Then the Phantom followed by Tennessee Jack into the clear down the outside, followed by Mercator. Our Pompeii can't go on from Great Vintage. Tiaco Nick the leader at the 300 from on the outside, Frontier Boy, and here's Vintage Crop. Vintage Crop, the Irish horse emerging now. Vintage Crop is cutting down Tiaco Nick. Nick. It's an Irish victory. Vintage Crop has hit the lead from Tiakau Nick and Mercator, and Vintage Crop has taken the Melbourne Cup. Vintage Crop has won by 2.5. It's a photo for second, Tiakau Nick or Mercator for second.
What a great win.
6, 5 and 10. Vintage Crop will pay $16.80 and $5.50. Tiakau Nick, $14.90. What a gallant run.
Will enhance the reputation of the Melbourne Cup overseas.
The Melbourne Cup will develop to be the international 2-mile race of the world.
And
back into this mounting.
The last 100 metres, the stamina this animal has got is amazing.
After Keith had observed Vintage Crops win in the St Leger Stakes, and this is what happened on Sports World.
Well, Vintage Crop has now had 3 wins at 2,800 metres. He's won at 3,200 metres, 3,600 metres, and after that race, his owner, Michael Smirnoff, said, next stop, Melbourne. So this might be the first horse in the 133-year history, the first Northern Hemisphere trained horse to win the Melbourne Cup.
Well, he's not in the market. Max is having a laugh back there. He's not in the market at the moment, Max. You don't think he can win, Max?
No, well, look, Keith can be on Vintage Crop and that jockey flotting flies. I'd just like to see Azam with Mick Dittman just chasing him up.
I don't know who put that on, but gee, I want to congratulate the narc.
You know who put it on.
Talking about changing when the handicap should be released, Bart.
Correct.
But you still feel the
Australian prize money alone is higher than the whole of Europe put together.
To bring that horse over here, get him acclimatised, get him so good. I believe he was a week short, but he was still quite a few lengths better than the best that we could produce.
One of the most cleverest men in the world, I'd say. But how many of these horses are over there, over in Ireland or England or Europe, that are capable of coming out here and winning our Cup? We have a few, Van der Cross and a Galilee and various sprinkling of champions, but the depth of the Northern Hemisphere is far, far more higher and deeper than we have in this country. They might have 5 or 6 Galilees a season. We're lucky to have one in every 20 years.
Keltree's jumped away fairly well. Alishan and Sportsworks are making a V-line to the outside rail. The other 5 horses are Rouge and Allen on a length and a half to Gold Rose. Then Keltree's and Danjiki. And down the grandstand side, Sportsworks is 2 lengths in front of Alishan, making up good ground on it. About 4.50 to go. Alanon went to Black Rouge. Gold Rose joins in. So does the favourite Keltree's. Danjiki hard-ridden 3 lengths away. Down the grandstand side, it's Sportsworks and Alishan. On the flat side, Gold Rose got to Alanon. Keltree's been called for walk, lost a little bit of ground there. Sportsworks down the outside. Gold Rose is in front though, got away from Alanon. Then Keltree's and Sportsworks, but it's all Gold Rose. Opening right up, he's going to win easily. Gold Rose wins the Linlithgow Stakes, about 5 lengths to Alanon and Keltree's. Down the outside, Gold Rose is in front though, got away from Alanon. Then Keltree's and Sportsworks, but it's all Gold Rose. Opening right up, he's going to win easily. Gold Rose wins the Linlithgow Stakes, about 5 lengths to Alanon and Keltree's. Then Sportsworks, Black Rouge and Gold Rose, he just put a space on them inside the last furlong.
Well, he's a beautiful looking horse. They ran 1:10.3, which is very good time.
The first being the Wellington Cup. Top weight with 58 kilograms was the Grand Stayer Castletown, a previous winner of the Cup on 2 occasions.
Ultimate Aim starting to go forward and Castletown circling the field. Back in behind them then is going to be Tough Enough to Ismana. Over on the outside, Discard goes forward with Starring just before the turn, then Ace of Luck. Back in the races, the Yapper as they swing the corner and Torbo. Newbury Star hit the front. From Lord Majestic back on the inside. Placido's coming after them over on the outside and Castletown's giving a sight here. Castletown ranged up to Newbury Star. Placido between them. Starring is now starting to run on, but he's hit the front. Castletown. He's a length clear on Placido. Torbo late, but it's Castletown. The dream burst into reality, and Castletown's going to win the Cup. That is third. Castletown, the champion's done it. Torbo second. Ultimate Aim's got to third. What a thrill here.
Castletown received a great ovation from the big crowd at Trentham following his Cup success. Having his 13th start at 3,200 metres, the Wellington Cup was Castletown's 4th victory over the metric 2 mile.
His victory in the Magic Millions of 1994 is probably one of the most emotional and one of the most instant charged and sensational. This is what he did. It was an outstanding ride by an outstanding racehorse.
Brave Warrior near the inside began brilliantly. He's showing speed today. Motor City came out fast and out wide. Discreet Lady and going quickly. St. Covered and Maze K Spill from Peter's Pride.
Chikari and further out on the track, Yinchenko, Proud Hero, then came Brave Warrior. He's about centre field and drifting back to Minio's wide, going forward Scenic Star. Lady at the 700, led from St. Covered out wide, Mace K Spill from Motor City. Then came Peter's Pride, Yinchenko's very wide with Dominio, they're going forward. They're followed by Chikari, further back, Proud Hero, Monstar. Brave Warrior, 4th or 5th last from Scenic Star. Ivory's Irish, then came Princess Todd. An impulsive moment, one of the last ones on the turn. And the Flying Filly, Discreet Lady, first for home. Die shakes up, St. Covered on the outside. 2 lengths away, Motor City, Chikari, Yinchenko, Dominio, Mace K Spell. And Brave Warrior getting a split. Discreet Lady at the 200, still in front. St. Covered flat to the floorboards. 2 lengths away, Brave Warrior starting to steam home. St. Covered's coming at Discreet Lady. Brave Warrior's flying. St. Covered in front. Here comes the Queenslander. Brave Warrior, yes, he's too good. Brave Warrior's got up to beat St. Covered and Discreet Lady, 3rd from Ivory's Irish K Spell. And Brave Warrior getting a split. Discreet Lady at the 200, still in front. St. Covered flat to the floorboards. 2 lengths away, Brave Warrior starting to steam home. St. Covered's coming at Discreet Lady. Brave Warrior's flying. St. Covered in front. Here comes the Queenslander. Brave Warrior, yes, he's too good. Brave Warrior's got up to beat St. Covered and Discreet Lady, 3rd from Ivory's Irish. Then Chikari further back in the field, Motor City, out of the race, Princess. Yeah, that was a great day. One of the best days I've ever seen at the races ever, including all the Group 1 races that we have around.
Let's have a look at him. Hariba winning yesterday.
At the 500, Hariba about a neck in front, travelling comfortably. Crystal Sword niggled at second now, and King Cora hard ridden a length and a half away 3rd. And Hariba kicked clear of Crystal Sword coming around the home turn, has not moved on this. Hariba under tight rein, got 2 in front around the bend from Crystal Sword. King Cora, Blessed Ascent and Cape View. They've less than 200 to go now. Clark just urges Hariba forward and he kicks 5 in front in the twinkling of an eye. He is good. Hariba racing away from Crystal Sword and King Cora. And look at this. This is smart. Hariba won it by 8 lengths on the line to Crystal Sword 2nd. King Cora, Blessed Ascent and Cape View. They've less than 200 to go now. Clark just urges Hariba forward and he kicks 5 in front in the twinkling of an eye. He is good. Hariba racing away from Crystal Sword and King Cora. And look at this. This is smart. Hariba won it by 8 lengths on the line to Crystal Sword 2nd.
But did you cop it?
Yes, I thought that the sectional times by Hariba were just freakish. This is obviously a very, very good racehorse.
This horse could be a near champion?
Well, it was a champion's performance yesterday because he did it in hand and he ran the time, so you couldn't have seen a better win.
Well, look, the headlines in the papers around Australia today. Clark went so far as to suggest the horse might be the best he's ridden. David Hayes has just swallowed his coffee. He rode Better Loosen Up and won a Japan Cup. He might be the best sprinter since Manikato. That's the sort of silly statement I might make, Max, to you.
Yes.
Don't you
no
laugh?
doubt about that. But the statement is supported by Times, and while...
Times. Having his first run at Group 1 level, Hariba met some quality opposition, including the champion Scalacci at Moonee Valley in the Australia Stakes. Formerly known as the William Reid Stakes, the race produced an exciting finish with the filly...
5-year-old Scalacci, a winner of $1.8 million in stakes, versus 3-year-old Hariba, a winner of just $46,000. But it was the youngster which went out an even money favourite in what was considered a dead-set match race.
A 650-metre mark, Ellen on a neck in front. Hariba on the outside, 2 lengths into Scalacci on the outside of Primacy. A length and a half to March here. Lady Jackie O and 3-2 were last of all Pearl Prince. At the 450 now, the acid test is on Hariba. He strides up to Ellen on before the turn. A length and a half further back, Scalacci being called on as Hariba sweeps to the front. It's Hariba the leader from Ellen on when they turn 250 out. 2 lengths further back, Scalacci followed by Primacy and Lady Jackie O. Hariba in front, 150 metres to go. Draws 2 lengths in front. Lady Jackie O out wide, flashing home. Hariba in front. Lady Jackie O lunges, got up. Lady Jackie O, the filly, has tipped out Hariba in the last stride. Primacy 3rd.
Trained by Scalacci struggling.
Hariba of Al-Anon took the lead by a length. Scalacci and Lady Jackie O starting to fly with Primacy. Hariba in front. Lady Jackie O flying on the outside causes the upset. Lady Jackie O's got up to win 3/4 to Hariba, Primacy 3rd.
Lady Jackie O took her stakes earnings past $650,000 with the brilliant win, even if jockey Stephen King...
A lot of controversy surrounding it. Hariba looked the best of good things beaten. It was a shocking day in Melbourne, so windy and hot. He misses the kick. He's back absolute now. Al-Anon shows tremendous pace to lead. Scalacci got away well. Now watch Hariba, second last, and Keith, this was the key in the next 200 metres to the race.
Well, Michael Clark bought her wide open, and Hariba not...
Right, Primacy third, then Scalacci, followed by Al-Anon.
I think the thing to come out of the race is that Hariba's every bit as good as we thought he was. Lady Jackie O was great, by the way.
Already, and they're off. Great Waikika Moo Cow followed by Voting, Mr Mutual, and they're followed by Pride of Rancho looking for a run just behind them. Pull to the outside, Let's Cut Loose, they're in the straighter, and Mahogany moving up on the outside has hit the front with about 400 to go from Kaltar. Battle Hawk down the outside, Pride of Rancho, Royal Rubiton, Mr Mutual Respect coming down the outside from a long way back, and Voting's got nowhere to go. Mahogany in front, he's now under the whip, he's being tackled by Pride of Rancho with 150 left to go, but he's responding, Mahogany. Mahogany a length to Pride of Rancho, who's trying to get to him. Mahogany ridden for dear life, still in front, he's hanging on, Mahogany. Mahogany's just won from Pride of Rancho. Tight for third March here, or Mr Mutual Respect, and they were followed by Star of Maple, and further back then.
Do you think you might compare him eventually with Naturalism?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's a much better three-year-old than Naturalism. The time will tell whether he, races on as good as the older horse, but there's no reason why he wouldn't.
Mahogany will now be set for the Australian Cup.
It was his fifth start at Group 1 level and his fifth win. Yesterday, well, they all took him on. They made it so tough for him, and he came good at the finish, winning narrowly but courageously.
Galloper, the Phantom, produced a strong performance to win the Cambridge Stud International, his second Group 1 victory of the season.
Prince there for the leader now from Kugel. Lying third, Ballpark, Village Dance to the Phantom, Surfers Paradise, Lagiro, Newbury Star taking off Mr Brooker, followed by Young Pirate, All or Nothing, and back on the inside, Gay Treese. Rounding the corner on the Cambridge Stud International, and Prince there for the leader now from Kugel. Here's the Phantom, the favourite, starting to pounce, and he raced to them quickly. On the inside, coming after these, Lagiro, Village Dancer, Surfers Paradise is wide, All or Nothing, and Mr Brooker, but the Phantom's kick clear now. Inside the 200, I'd say it's all over. The Phantom out by 3 lengths. Lagiro, Surfers Paradise, a late run, Gay Treese, All or Nothing, and Ballpark. But what a champ he is. The Phantom has absolutely annihilated the field. Second home, Lagiro, and I think Gay Treese might have got
The comfortable win by the Phantom, a talented but injury-plagued horse, put the 8-year-old on course for a tilt at the Australian Cup at Flemington. However, once again, an injury prevented him from making the trip.
Winner of last Saturday's Hobartville. Winner won the race last year. There's one rearing out in the middle. Off and running in the Chipping Norton. Telesto again missed the start, but not all that badly. Missed it by about a length, and Clearly Chosen is the first out, and he's going wide around there, and then shelved out 4 deep now, Corndale, and last Telesto. 600 out as they near the turn. Clearly Chosen the leader. Western Red in second place, followed by Kingston Bay and Burst together, and then Seasky, and behind those Corndale, who's off the track, followed by Shelved, then Chasendo, Telesto getting a run up on the fence, and Skillful Star last as they turn. Into the straight in the Chipping Norton, and Clearly Chosen giving a ton of cheek as well clear. Burst is the first to go after him, followed by Kingston Bay, and now Telesto hooked to the outside is starting to wind up. Clearly Chosen about to be tackled by Burst, and look at Telesto. Telesto coming down the outside at 100 miles an hour. He finally wins another one. Telesto beat Clearly Chosen. Burst in a photo for Shelved, then Chasendo, Telesto getting a run up on the fence, and Skillful Star last as they turn. Into the straight in the Chipping Norton, and Clearly Chosen giving a ton of cheek as well clear. Burst is the first to go after him, followed by Kingston Bay, and now Telesto hooked to the outside is starting to wind up. Clearly Chosen about to be tackled by Burst, and look at Telesto coming down the outside at 100 miles an hour. He finally wins another one. Telesto beat Clearly Chosen. Burst in a photo for third with Seasky, Wide Out, and Kingston Bay.
And was able to utilise Telesto's big finish down the outside. A very impressive performance. Telesto has now won 2 races, but he's a horse that can win a Doncaster if he gets the breaks. But he dropped
his win in the Australian Guineas. Mahogany was attempting to become the first 3-year-old since Dulcify to complete the Victoria Derby Australian Cup double. Mahogany started favourite ahead of stablemate Durbridge, whose hat-trick of wins leading into the Cup showed that he was also in great form.
They've got 650 to go in the Australian Cup, and Captain Cook for Neville Wilson will turn into the straight by a length. Marshall comes away from the rail on Durbridge now. Then Fra and Pride of Rancho. Our Pompey ridden along on the inside. Mahogany next following Pride of Rancho into the straight. Now hooks out as they came towards the 400. Captain Cook by a length and a half to Durbridge. 2 or 3 lengths further back in the field is Fra. Mahogany's given full ball down the outside from Pride of Rancho. 250 out though, and Durbridge went for home. He raced away. Durbridge raced a couple of lengths in front of Captain Cook. Mahogany is under the whip, but Durbridge with a mighty lead. He's out 3 lengths. He's got it 1. He's holding them safely at bay. And Durbridge, a great winner. Durbridge wins it by 2 lengths. Station Hand got up for second. Mahogany and neck away third.
One of racing's
400, putting in his run in the centre. Durbridge hit the front of the 300-metre mark, 3 lengths in front. Now on the outside, Mahogany is after him, but Durbridge went for home. 3 lengths in front of the 150. Mahogany won't get him, and it's little Durbridge's Australian Cup. Station Hand running on late, but Durbridge a mile too good, wins 2 lengths.
It was billed as the great showdown between Lee Friedman's big guns, but Durbridge was too good on the day for Mahogany and took the money. A tremendous victory for 4-1, second Station Hand at 10s, and third the favourite Mahogany at even.
Wide. Set. Off and running in the rider, good start, and Telesto, as usual, straight out the back. Skating began brilliantly and bounced out in front of the heavyweight, followed by Sir Bernard. Al Akbar coming over from a wide alley. Just behind those, Jabal and Pharaoh. A long way back, Golden Sword, followed by Mr. Door and Kingston Bay. Now, we know Telesto likes to relax a bit in the early stages, but he's really gone to sleep today, and he must have been 8 or 10 lengths away last when they settled down. On the first turn, travelling a bit deep, followed by Burst, Kingston Bay. Then Mr. Door, followed by Pharaoh and Golden Sword. And Telesto is now tacking on at the tail of the field as they come around the turn. Sir Bernard and the heavyweight of the joint leaders into the straight over. Big Dreams, Al Akbar about to go up and join them. And then Alderson followed and join them. And then Alderson followed by Skating, and further back Burst and Soho Square. And Telesto sticking near the fence as they turn for home. Into the straight, and Al Akbar is coming at Sir Bernard. Big Dreams between them, followed by Burst and Skating, and Telesto is now looking for a split between horses. At the 150 mark, Big Dreams and Al Akbar are fighting it out. Telesto is still there. Down the outside is Golden Sword now. It's Telesto grabbing the lead in the shadows of the post from Golden Sword, and Telesto gives die.
The Rosehill Guineas was Shane.
Followed by Skating, and further back Burst and Soho Square, and Telesto sticking near the fence as they turn for home. Into the straight, and Al Akbar is coming at Sir Bernard. Big Dreams between them, followed by Burst and Skating, and Telesto is now looking for a split between horses. At the 150 mark, Big Dreams and Al Akbar are fighting it out. Telesto is still there. Down the outside is Golden Sword now. It's Telesto grabbing the lead in the shadows of the post from Golden Sword, and Telesto gives die. The big double over Golden Sword. Big Dreams in a photo for third with Pharaoh and Al Akbar, followed by Soho Square, Mr. Door, Deposition. And
I think it's Telesto coming from tailed off to win, and Keith Hillier, he's an exciting horse. He's doing something for racing at the moment.
Yes, he is, and Shane Dye labelled Telesto a better racehorse than Super Impose. How quick we forget. But I suppose there's some merit to that claim, and the way he's racing is not unlike Super with those barnstorming finishes, Bruce.
And
rapidly picking him up, Golden Sword, but he's just got that little bit too much dash. Golden Sword not fit enough on the day, a very good run, certainly not as spectacular as Telesto. I think Telesto handled the ground better. I think Telesto was fitter. Return bout in the Doncaster. I know Telesto meets Golden Sword 4 kilos better, but I wonder whether it's just enough. But I do hope.
Yeah, the big one, the Doncaster.
They Cornell the Epsom, didn't they? But gee, 5.5 kilos.
I wonder if St. Cover could be messed up by a speed horse by Lord Jim.
Sits 7-2. Lord Jim is at 10-1, out to 11-1 now. Mr. Vitality still at 8s, about 7.5 really, but $8.80. Dr. Zachary is at 14-1. Dan Zero at 5-1. He's held his place.
I've won 4 out of the last 5, and I'm sure I can make it 5 out of the last 6 today here on St. Covered. Watch out for a horse called Dan Zero. He'll be finishing on very, very strongly with Greg Hall on, and he's the danger.
Off in the slipper. Rosa's Path on the outside is one of the first out. Quickly into stride races Edson. Covered is away brilliantly, and so is Lord Jim. Stonebrook Meadow showing surprising pace in the early part. Dr. Zachary Hurry. Then is Zanoletti as they come down to the home turn. Mr. Vitality midfield under pressure. Moment's Pleasure out very deep, and then Charlie Bubbles. Power Yak is a mile back, followed by Restive, and then Stonebrook Meadow and Tayara. Into the straight, Lord Jim, the leader, St Covered on the outside is going after him. 2 lengths away, Racer's Edge, followed by Hurricane Sky, and Dan Zero pulled right out to the middle of the track, is starting to warm up now at the 200. Lord Jim headed by St Covered, but here comes Dan Zero. Dan Zero down the outside is about to swamp these leaders. Dan Zero coming at St Covered. St Covered is kicking again. It's St Covered and Dan Zero. They hit the line, heads up, heads down. I reckon Dan Zero a breath to St Covered in a head bobber. Now third probably Zero coming at St Covered. St Covered is kicking again. It's St Covered and Dan Zero. They hit the line, heads up, heads down. I reckon Dan Zero a breath to St Covered in a head bobber. Now third probably Racer's Edge in front of Mr Vitality, and Hurricane Sky is right up there with them, followed by Rest of Moment's Pleasure. Oh, Ken, what a thriller. It's a head bobber, but I reckon Greg Hall has snared his first slipper.
No doubt about it, John. Dan Zero on the outside, and
combination, you and Greg Hall.
We're invincible. When we're right, we're invincible. I mean, he just rode an inspired race there, and just...
Bruce, the $2 million Demolition Derby, the little laths of...
To preface that by saying the Golden Slipper was a bloody disgrace. It was riddled with interference. It's a slur on racing. They've got to clean it up. Somebody's going to get hurt.
How do they clean it up? As John Trent said during the week, I'm not going to bother to tell the jockeys that about interference. I'd be wasting my time. Didn't he say to them, go out and put it on a good show?
Well, that they did, but it was a show more befitting, let's say, out of Mongolia. Interference early.
Max, I mean, they're racing.
Here we are. You can see Greg Hall on the outside and Shane Dye. Now, Shane Dye and Hall are involved in a bumping duel. Hurricane Sky. Oh, have a look at this. Shane Dye nearly came off after the winning post. Certainly had the fact that it was one of his finest rides. He was cramped. Shane gave his all. It was a pair of brilliant rides.
No, they're moving in. Poetic King, an interesting visitor from Melbourne.
Yes, John might be one of the new Lee Friedman superstars. He's had 7 starts for 6 wins. Here we go. Never Under Charge is 9-4 on the tote. Bookies are a good bit more generous. Diamond Harbour. Poetic King is 6-4 on the tote. I can assure you can't get that price here.
Off. Poetic King has jumped fairly well. Square the Circle's a little tardy to begin, and Semi-Amu jumped out in front. Just Awesome spearing straight to the lead. Poetic King's going to settle in the box seat. Followed the leader, Just Awesome, wants to pull. Led by a length to Semi-Amu, and a length and a half Poetic King, about to be joined by Never Under Charge. 2 to North Walk, and then Diamond Harbour, Square the Circle, followed by Ghost Story and Tusk Hunter as last. Inside the 600, now they're speeding up, and Just Awesome got away from Semi-Amu. Poetic King is trailing the leader into the straight. Never Under Charge dropped off a little bit on the turn and is under plenty of pressure now from Simon Marshall, followed well back by North Walk and Square the Circle. In the straight, and Poetic King on the outside. Pop the Question has raced up the tackle. Just Awesome. This maiden performer showing a bit of fight though, but now Poetic King's got him, and Poetic King has dashed away 150 out with the boss looking over the shoulder. He's well clear of Just Awesome, Never Under Charge and North Walk. Doncaster next step, and Poetic King has cantered home in the last over, Never Under Charge. I think Just Awesome will get third. A breath in front of North Walk, and then
Winner, well, he's going absolutely super. He's some racehorse. I'd like to be paying his feed, Bill. He knows how to put them down and pick them up fast. Glenn Boss, by geez, didn't he have a big look back over his shot? Have another look, Glenn. No, they're not there, son. They're not even close to you. This horse will be hard to beat in the Doncaster. Poetic King, 240 and 130. If you backed him on the tote, you did pretty well. Second, Never Under Charge, $1.50.
And Keith, in the last, Poetic King, he's now won 7 out of 8. He's gone up 2 notches, I reckon, in one race. I know he won the Moomba Plate like a good horse. He won this like a superstar.
He's a very good horse. This is part of
Canter to the turn. It was a sit and sprint home. This is a very good racehorse, but certainly he won't be doing it as easy in the Doncaster. He's going to be a worthy contender, but...
Golden Sword, rock solid at towards 14-1. Golden Sword, rock solid at 9-2. $5.50. He has come in a little, just over 50-1. Pharaoh, 14-1. A Calesto, 13-2. We can almost make that 7-1. About $7.90 now for $1. Ruslan at 100-1. Poetic King, $3.80. Solid favourite at 11.
Telesto, he looks lovely, but he's got the job ahead of him, Ken. You know, horses aren't making up ground at all.
Kingston Bay, the inside runner. Off in the Doncaster, Telesto straight out the back, and back with him is Cabora. Primacy bounced out in front at the start. Telesto in the Mahanui Lass and a length away last. Telesto, who's now tacking on as they come to the 700. Telesto, who's now tacking on as they come to the 700 mark, nearing the turn, and Dopf is the leader over Primacy. Al Akbar third, Poetic King is fourth, followed by Ruslan, and then Quadrado out very deep square the circle, followed by Kingston Bay going well but has nowhere to go at the moment, and then Mr. Door, Pharaoh, Excited Angel, widest of all on the turn into the straight. Golden Sword is waiting for the cutaway, and tagging him through now is Telesto as they come over the rise, where Poetic King dashed to the lead. Poetic King has burst to the lead from Never Under Charge. Excited Angel down the outside, and then Ruslan and Al Akbar and Telesto right behind those leaders. Poetic King tackled by Kingston Bay, Excited Angel, and look at Pharaoh. Pharaoh coming down the outside, might tip them all out. Kingston Bay, Pharaoh, Telesto getting up on the inside of them all. Close Telesto or Pharaoh. I think they've just beat. Poetic King has burst to the lead from Never Under Charge. Excited Angel down the outside, and then Ruslan and Al Akbar and Telesto right behind those leaders. Poetic King tackled by Kingston Bay, Excited Angel, and look at Pharaoh. Pharaoh coming down the outside, might tip them all out. Kingston Bay, Pharaoh, Telesto getting up on the inside of them all. Close Telesto or Pharaoh. I think they've just beaten Kingston Bay in the centre. It's a desperately close one. Poetic King is close up, followed by Golden Sword, and then Never Under Charge. Not sell Kingston Bay too short either. I just had the feeling that he in the middle. Oh, Ruth, I'd load if I know. God, he's not beaten yet either, Kingston Bay. Oh, you've never seen a finish like this in your life. What do you think, Ken?
Very, very close, John. Watching it with the naked eye, I thought it may have been Telesto. They hit the post. I was going to say Pharaoh was out of it, but he seems to have got a good stride in here, right on the line. Oh, boy, I'm sticking with Telesto.
Been called for by the judge. Now, that is unprecedented. A second developed printing over time. Nobody knows. 9 got it, Pharaoh. Number 9, Pharaoh, on the outside, has won the Doncaster, ridden by Gavin Eads. Trained by Gay Waterhouse. Number 6, Kingston Bay in the centre, second. And Telesto third, but the margins are going to be...
Ran with one of the very best. A finish that will be unforgettable. It was a bit like Imogil Grand Cityman Like a Lover, going back a lot of years in a famous race in the dark. As always, Max, you've seen a lot of Don compare.
Oh, undoubtedly one of the best. No, the best. I don't think there's ever been such a thrilling day's racing, and certainly the emotion of the occasion was outstanding. There's perhaps...
This, Max, drive to the line.
Yes, we must point out, though, Bruce, that the unlucky runner of the race was undoubtedly Golden Sword. The Doncaster is one of those sort of races you probably win it 10 times, you get different results, but I would say 6 out of the 10 times Golden Sword would have won. Struck more trouble than any other runner, and
now, Romany Conti in the number 1 gate stands up well, and they'll pull a bit now. Durbridge is being rated beautifully in front by Simon Marshall as they go onto the top turn, led by a little more than 2, followed by It's All in Fun and Marrakesh and Kingston Bay last, but Simon Marshall says, catch me if you can. Durbridge about 4 in front, make that 5 now. Durbridge is well clear on the turn over Soho Square, followed by Fra and then Pharaoh, and further back Romany Conti. Kingston Bay is last as they turn for home, but Durbridge is a mile in front coming over the rise, led by 4 lengths to Soho Square. Pharaoh running on, and then Romany Conti, and It's All in Fun. Durbridge is drifting out past the centre of the track, but he's well clear. Romany Conti close to the inside is running home gamely. Durbridge with a B in his bonnet is getting right off the track, but he's holding them all at bay. Durbridge, he's done a few things wrong, but he bolts away with the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. Durbridge first, Romany Conti second, Marrakesh...
Turning the race into...
Durbridge in Melbourne, Ken, isn't he?
Oh, John, but he goes all right here. He's clearly the best 2,000-metre horse in the country, and isn't it great to see a jockey with the confidence to set his own speed, not be frightened to hold him, or be too frightened that he can't hold the horse back to the others that he's...
16 wins now for Durbridge. That was his 55th start yesterday, and he now has rejoined Mahogany for the contest for Horse of the Year. Which one?
Race, the Doomben 10,000. The
Queensland TAB prices. Big Dreams at 20s, Deposition 40, Tiny's Finito, the crowd favourite at 6.5 to 1, Bucks Pride favourite on the tote, 4.5 to 1, Shane Scriven the jockey, 8 All Our Mob, 7.5 to 1, Mick Dittman's Mount Capstead, 16 Carolingian, 12 Flitter, Jimmy Cassidy, 30 Slight Chance the horse, but 50 to 1, gee, 8 to 1 Bint Masqué. I'd like to be getting some of that. Gee, she'll be hard to beat.
For a start in the 1994 Doomben 10,000, they're about to break. 2 down,
Baggio is gone, and so is Silver Neon, a sensation. Down the side, 600 to go, and Bella Snap on the inside is just the leader. From Bint Masqué, All Our Mob, Sprightly Jet, Archie Keelia, then Dapple up on there, followed by Bucks Pride, Morden, Cape Stat on the rail, then Flitter, Slight Chance making ground, and Tiny's Finale a long way back as they turn the corner into the straight. Bella Snap, the leader, joined by Bint Masqué, All Our Mob on the outside, then Archie Keelia, Morden, and Flitter running home well from Bucks Pride. Bint Masqué in front past the 200. All Our Mob trying to get to it from Archie Keelia and Flitter. All Our Mob and Bint Masqué together at 100 to go. All Our Mob and Bint Masqué. Flitter is flying on the outside. They hit it. Flitter, I think maybe Flitter on the line has got up to beat All Our Mob and Bint Masqué. Third home,
Sprightly Jet just behind them, Morden to the outside, Bucks Pride and Cape Stad next, followed by Flitter, All Our Mob and Bint Masqué there together. Bint Masqué is just in front of All Our Mob. They look as though they're going to fight it out. Here comes Flitter up to third place. All Our Mob and Bint Masqué, they're stride for stride. All Our Mob is just in front. Flitter's flying the last little bit. They hit it. Flitter's got up to win it.
Okay, now Flitter dives, and as they hit the post, oh boy, it looks like Flitter's arrived in time. We'll have to wait on that.
And Flitter got it on the outside, the fast finishing number 8, Flitter, 8, 5 and 17. The numbers Flitter 10, 40 and 355. All Our Mob 345 and Bint Masqué.
And we're going to show it to you live. The Group 1 Doomben Cup at the top. Number 1 Durbridge is a clear-cut favourite. He is at 5 to 4. 1 Paris Lane 11 to 2. He's a stablemate of Durbridge and is second favourite.
At 800 out in Durbridge is the pacemaker. A length over Paris Lane. Castle Bend is third and Marrakesh is fourth. One off the fence. On the bend they come, 400 out, Durbridge is the leader. Paris Lane's gone to second, Marrakesh third, then Castle Bend, and further back is Pure Lust and Thrifty Reserve as they turn the corner. Durbridge the leader, 300 to go, the old stager in front, the precocious 3-year-old Paris Lane looming up and they collided inside the 200, Durbridge and Paris Lane there together, Marrakesh on the inside, Durbridge and Paris Lane, Durbridge is coming away from Paris Lane, Durbridge in front, he's too good, and Durbridge beat Paris Lane tight for third between Pure Lust and Thrifty Reserve. Close up Marrakesh, then Osmart.
And the stable Quinella there, Durbridge beating Paris Lane. The steward sorting out that Durbridge should retain the race, and he got out to 11 to 4. A great price.
Isn't it? He's won 7 out of 10 this time in Durbridge. He's gone up a notch, hasn't he? From a really good horse to a near champion.
Oh, sure, Bruce. He went past $3 million yesterday. Lee Friedman became the first Australian trainer to win 10 or more Group 1 races in a season for the third successive year.
It was outside the leader, a horse to Remus. He'd had 3 runs in New Zealand, all over 2100. Very strange preparation. The boom on him was enormous, Wayne, before the race, and he didn't let anyone down.
Even before the race, they were talking about Caulfield and Melbourne Cups with him, and you can say that again, Bruce. He didn't let anyone down.
He's got the white blaze, hasn't he, Wayne?
Yes, and he picks up very quickly in the straight. He was stopped in his tracks as he headed for home there, but when he pulls to the outside in the straight, he's still about 5 lengths off them there. But just have a look at the amount of ground he covers with every stride, Doremus. Here he is coming after the leaders now, and look at him go to them in the last little bit. And so quickly did he finish. He raced away to win by 4 lengths, and his sectional time, 34.6 for the last 600 metres. Outstanding. And Larry Cassidy said to me after the race yesterday, from that race to Derby, a minimum 5 lengths improvement. The last little bit, and so quickly did he finish. He raced away to win by 4 lengths, and his sectional time 34.6 for the last 600 metres. Outstanding. And Larry Cassidy said to me after the as he headed for home, standing. And Larry Cassidy said to me after the race yesterday, from that race to Derby, a minimum 5 lengths improvement.